Hello everybody and welcome to the Irregular Magic High School Visitor Arc Episode 2 Anime Review. In this episode we discovered what the main problem, I guess the main antagonist of this arc is going to be, and also the reasoning for Team Tatsuya to get involved in this and not just leave it to the government. Why won't you just leave it to the government, kids? Well, actually no, the government, I mean, they're alright, but no, they're necessary. Team Tatsuya gonna get this done. Also, Leo is a pretty cool dude. Everyone's pretty cool. I don't have much to add on that. It was very much a setup-y episode. Like, here's the problem. Here's how everyone's going to get involved. Let's do this thing. But for right now, let's get into the episode, see how everything went down, and do this thing. We open up with some creepy masked men, or as we later learn, one's actually a masked woman. They've got this dead girl. They tried to do something to her, but it didn't work properly. They were being deliberately, well, not deliberately vague, but I mean, to us, we don't completely understand what's going on. Need more samples to it, is the gist of it. My guess as to what they were doing is they were stuffing something inside her, metaphorically, magically, not literally like shoving it in her mouth or nothing. They were shoving something inside her, and it wormed around in there for a little bit, but then it came out, is sort of what they were saying, and they needed to stay in, sort of like a parasite, as they talk about later on. My guess is they're trying to make more for their creepy masked person army. I have no idea, but that's just what I'm going with as an early prediction. Could be completely off though, but it's a good guess. I think it's a good guess anyway. The next day, I guess, Tatsuya's class is talking about this incident, the vampire. Basically, it's lost some blood, but there's no wound where the blood... It's not like there's teeth marks or nothing, so it's not like a sucking blood instance. It's just missing, like, I think they said 10% of the blood, which is, you know, at first doesn't seem like too much. 10% of the blood? Nah, that's just fine. That's recoverable, but that's still quite a lot to just disappear. Certainly make you nauseous, probably. I don't know. I'm not a blood doctor. I think those are just called doctors, but what do I know? Maybe it's an occult being. It could be a magician. They're just throwing all these ideas around. They're not too sure. Leo's got this contemplative look on his face the whole time. So who knows what is going on there. Don't want expunging magicians to be popular. Basically, hope it's not a magician because, you know, it's sort of like the old magicians are bad, grrr situation. It's like, nah, come on. We don't want to give them any more fuel to the fire, basically, is what it's going. Lena's not at school today because she had an emergency situation, which as we know is she's going to sort out that incident. Shizuku called Honoka the night before and also said, yeah, there's vampire things going on in America as well. And it's like, that's a little bit weird. Those two countries are like halfway across the sodding map. Like, what's going on? What's going on? How are two things so similar happening in different places? Very strange. Very strange indeed. Team Lena, or I guess Team Angie, are after the masked guy. He is being pursued by the other two, whose names I have forgotten. So that's pretty not good on my part there. They're underestimating him. He's a lot stronger than they thought he was. He's also someone they know. We learn later on. I guess I'll talk about that then. He's a lot stronger. Their cast jammer doesn't work because he doesn't need a CAD anymore. So he's like natural. It's coming out of his body instead of the little iPhone, I presume is how it works. He's pretty easily overpowering them, like he's like distorting the knife so it doesn't hurt him and the bullet launches the other way. It's pretty impressive actually. But then Angie shows up and he's like, whoa, I don't want none of that. I'm out of here. And he starts running away with Angie chasing them. Elsewhere, Leo finds the body that they sucked dry of blood. Don't be dirty. And gets attacked by the second masked assailant, who this one is a woman, we later learn. Or we reckon, anyway, we're not too sure. Leo puts up a decent fight at first, but then he gets weakened, like he's been drugged, basically. But he's not been drugged. He's been magic drugged, who can say. But before he can be killed, Angie shows up and runs off the masked man, or woman. The masked person, who knows. And Leo passes out, though. Luckily, somebody finds him and calls Erica to tell him about it. Also, the masked people escape from Angie. Should probably say Angie we know is Lena, but she was in the red form. Red form is Angie. This is how I'm going to do it because it's how I think it is. Red form is Angie, blonde form is Lena. So I'll probably switch between them so you know which one's active at any one time, just to be very, very helpful. Tatsuya and all his friends visit Leo at the hospital, and Leo fills them in on basically what the heck happened. Turns out Erika's dad is the one that found Leo at the side of the road, collapsed, or not the side of the road, wherever he was, collapsed and brought him to the hospital, and everything else. Also kind of weird that Erika's the only one not in uniform, but whatever, that's fine. I am not complaining, that is for sure. He thinks that it was a woman, as I said before, is the one that he was fighting. Mikihiko thinks a parasite might have been involved. He's feeling a little bit down because he suspected something maybe from the beginning, but because he didn't say anything, Leo got attacked, and that's proper riling him up. He's not happy about that. He's like, my own, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, so this bit doesn't really work, but you get what I'm saying. Things that latch on to people, they're like evil spirits, these parasites, basically. They latch on to people and make them bad, is sort of what I got from it. Again, could be completely off, but that's sort of how I saw his explanation anyway. Check his spirit energy. That's important because it probably stole a load of spirit energy is what they're reckoning. That's why he was so groggy and drowsy and why he passed out. They do that. They check his thing and he's like, are you even human? Because he's had so much spirit energy taken that he should be comatose right now. But Leo, the man, the myth, the legend, the survivor, he's still up because he's got a lot of constitution and all that. He's got a high vitality score in his D&D. I've never played D&D, but I guess that's how it works. No idea. Why does it bother taking the blood if all it needs is the spirit energy? There's a question for you, which I think it's because the thing that they're shoving inside them is taking the blood and then be like, nah, mate, that blood's a bit minging. I don't want none of that, and then comes back out. Sort of what I think. I could be completely wrong though. Parasites are rare. Probably not random murders these. There's probably a theme, a consistency. They're after something, basically. Erika can see that Leo is in way worse shape. He was putting on a front. The reason I think they're implying that he is relatively okay is because of the training they did in season 1. Whenever that was, I think that's why they're okay. He's okay, relatively. And then she's all like, I'm going to go fight the vampire now. Man, woman, or whatever, I'm going to go kill it. And my guess is she's going to try and fight it on her own, not get very far. And then the rest of the gang will be like, you don't need to do everything by yourself, rely on us. And then they'll team up and they'll all go fight it. That's sort of what I see it happening. I could be off though, but that's how I see it going. Angie gets the rundown from her subordinates about their fight with the masked man. This one was a man, I promise. And basically, his name was Sergeant Sullivan. He's a guy they knew. I presume he deserted them. That's sort of what I got from it. And now he's a bad guy. So they're after him. Don't engage the enemy is what she says, because obviously he's much stronger than he used to be and can do way more things than he used to. Angie's like, leave the fighting to me. You guys don't engage, just do the tracking or whatever. Makes sense. After that, she switches back to Lena mode and, why are they attacking Japanese people? Is it related to the new powers they've got? And then Angie was just checking herself out with her uniform, with her buttons undone. And again, why are you doing that? But on second thought, I'm okay with that. Keep it up, my girl. Keep it up. I quite like Angie. Or not Angie, Lena. They're the same person. But I like Lena's design more. So, thumbs up for that, Lena. You good, girl. You good. We then go to a secret meeting. It might not be a secret, but it seemed like a secret. All the lights were off between Mayumi and Jumonji. They are talking about the incidents. Now that Leo's been attacked, that's one of their students. They've probably got to take some sort of action. All the victims that have, there's only a third of what's being reported. I'm sorry, no. 3 times as much as has been reported have been attacked. The other thing, they are all magicians. So it's some sort of magician hunters, these masked assailants, I guess. They think the killer is a foreigner, and at that point I was like, they don't think it's Lena, do they? Are we gonna have like civil war going on? Let's not be doing that. No, they think Lena is suspicious, but they don't think Lena's the killer. They think she's hiding something, she might be involved, but they don't think she's actually the one doing the deeds. So I guess that's a good thing, because we know it's not her. She's fighting the good fight, sort of. She's like a third faction, I guess. You got like the good guys, you got the bad guys, and you got Lena and co. I think they're good guys, but they're not on the side of the good guys, if that makes any sense. But the other important thing, they're 2 big families, they want an alliance, and they get their alliance, so that's a good thing for the end of that. That was the end of the episode. As I said, felt sort of set-up-y, you know. We're getting Tatsuya and that involved in it now, because obviously Lena was already involved in it, and now Tatsuya is involved. I'm sure maybe some misunderstandings could arise, like maybe she'll think that Tatsuya's behind it because she'll run into him one too many times at the sites of the incidents and thinks, hang on, that's suspicious. Although they're quite smart in this show, they'll probably figure that Tatsuya's just trying to stop it too. Who knows? I certainly don't. It's exciting. Anywho, what was my favourite part of the episode though? I honestly had a bit of a struggle with this because it wasn't a jump in your face kind of episode. So my favourite part of this week's episode was just Leo in his entirety this week. He was a fighter when he was injured. He was a fighter when he was fighting. He's a good guy, and his fight was pretty cool too. He did his shouty power. I can't remember exactly what it is, but he shouts, and that's an important thing because as we know, anime logic, if you shout, your power increases. So that is good too. He was also pretty good throughout, holding back his pain and everything. I like Erica as well, you know. Throw her in there too. Erica and Leo. I'm not a shipper, but those two. That's got to be a thing that's happening, right? Like, come on now. Behave. Let's do that. Anyway, no. As I said, set up the episode. It was pretty good. Looking forward to when we get proper into it. Like, obviously the opening is promising some pretty damn cool fights between Angie and Tatsuya, and then Lena and Miyuki in the opening. Obviously, you can't always trust the opening 100%, but hey, don't bait and switch me. Don't fire force me opening. Come on, I'd hate for you to do that. That would hurt me. It would hurt me a lot. Please don't do that. But yeah, no, I can't think of too much else to say on this week's episode, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.